Hello once again, guys. So the Newcastle United transfer saga rumbles on. Benjamin Cesco apparently favours a move to Old Trafford rather than St James's Park. Nothing concrete in that, of course, but Newcastle United, they look to have missed out on another striker. And I'm just asking myself, what is going on at Newcastle United? Why are they always, second to the line, when it comes to transfers? And maybe they're approaching it from the wrong angle. Maybe they are, instead of trying to get the players' interest in the club first, they're trying to soften the club up. The club who could possibly sell the player to the tune. It's a real classic, this one, because Benjamin Cesco looks to have chosen Manchester United, guys. It really is that sort of a day. And the question is, of course, if he has decided to move to Manchester United in favour of Champions League football on Tyneside, then what do we do and who do we go after next? So welcome once again to my channel, guys. Great to have you with me. If you like this video, please give us a like. It will help the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys, if you want any instant access to my new videos. And if you like this video, as I said, give us a like and leave a comment as well if you want to, and let me know your thoughts on this video. So, Benjamin Cesco, the word is that he favours a move to Manchester United. He's already made a decision on that, and he wants to move to the Theatre of Dreams. The Theatre of Nightmares, I think it would be called, after last season, finishing 15th in the Premier League. Didn't secure Champions League football because they lost the Europa League final to Tottenham Hotspur, who then went on to claim a Champions League place. Don't ask me how that works, but there you go. And he's looking at this and thinking, well, Newcastle United have got Champions League football this season. We've got a good setup, good players. But again, I think money talks in this situation, and people can say to me what they like about Manchester United being the biggest club and all this and that. Yeah, and it has been proven over the last few years that success has favoured Manchester United, but not, well, I'd say the last few years it hasn't really favoured them, has it? Since 2013, they've won 3 trophies. Before that, goodness me, how many did they win? Incredible. But Manchester United, they're not at the peak of their performance in recent seasons. And Newcastle, of course, as I said, secured Champions League football last season. But a lot of people are wondering why Benjamin Cesco wants to go to Old Trafford. Well, the reason is because of money. It's got nothing to do with Manchester United being a big club. It's got nothing to do with their success all them years ago. It's got nothing to do with, the fantastic fan base that they have. It's got nothing to do with that. He's going to Manchester United because they've butted him up. They've offered him so much money, and he's thought, yeah, I'll go there. And, money talks in this sort of situation. And to be quite honest, there's been a few people saying about Benjamin Cesco. I've never seen the guy play, so I don't know what sort of player he is. What sort of attributes he has that will help Newcastle United if he was to arrive on Tyneside, which looks very unlikely now. And to be quite honest, I think we've dodged a bullet, to be honest with you, because he's unproven in the Premier League, and it's one of those classics, really, isn't it? Where do you go from here? I mean, it was the same for Hugo Ekitike going to Liverpool, untried in the Premier League. And, I think Liverpool, to be quite honest, are looking at themselves now thinking, well, we're trying to get Alexander Isak through the door, but maybe we shouldn't have focused on Ekitike. Maybe we should have went for Isak straight away. And Newcastle would have got Ekitike, they would have sold us Isak, and everybody would be happy. So I'm pleased to say we're not the only team in the Premier League that's slipping up at the minute. But we haven't got, apart from Anthony Elanga and Aaron Ramsdale, nobody else is really coming in. And we need a striker. We keep saying that. We need a striker to come in as backup for Alexander Isak. But Alexander Isak has already said that he wants to leave the club, in so many words. He's looking at his options about leaving. And we need strikers in. Now, Benjamin Cesco, if he wants to go to Manchester United, that's what I say to him. On your way, son. Off you go to Manchester United. Don't mess us about. Don't waste our time if you don't want to play for the club and you're only going to come here for a bit of coin, because that's not what we're looking for. So what's next? Where did Newcastle go next? Well, the deal for Wissa seems to have hit the buffers. He was keen on a move. Apparently Brentford were looking to let the player go as soon as they found a replacement, but that seems to have gone cold this moment in time. And another name that keeps floating around is Ollie Watkins. Now, Ollie Watkins is a particular favourite player of mine. I think he would do a job at Newcastle. He's already proved against us down the years that he can score goals, and he is a clinical finisher. And do Newcastle United go for somebody like Ollie Watkins and pay some serious money for him? But I just think that every player that is linked with Newcastle United, the other clubs around just can't leave it alone. They just cannot leave it alone. And I have no doubt. I mean, let's just say we went for Wissa and we got Wissa through the door. I mean, as far as I'm aware, nobody else has been looking at him yet. But let's just say we get him through the door. Is he a replacement for Alexander Isak? No, he's a backup striker because we've lost Callum Wilson. So then we've still got to go. I mean, me personally, I think Wissa and Watkins would be two fantastic signings. But let's just say we get Wissa in. And then we go after Ollie Watkins. And let's just say Aston Villa say, well, let's get Newcastle United on the phone. Let's see how much they want him. Newcastle get on the phone. Yes, we'd like to purchase Ollie Watkins. Yeah, okay. That's going to cost you £100 million. Newcastle United might say, okay, maybe we can get it down a bit. Maybe it's 90 million, 80 million plus add-ons. You know, let's see what we can do here. You can guarantee as soon as that story breaks, Manchester United or Arsenal or Liverpool are going to be knocking on the door of Aston Villa and saying, we're interested in Ollie Watkins. Can we have a look at Ollie Watkins? And it just seems to me like every time Newcastle put a bid in for a player, the other clubs, and even like Chelsea there as well, the whole clique, the whole cabal is looking at it. It's like, oh yeah, Newcastle's wanting to sign him. Let's go in and let's buy him. You know, we don't really want him. We just want to piss Newcastle off because they get nowhere. But what I say about the Newcastle United owners as well is they need to be more aggressive. They need to be more hands-on, I think is a word I'm looking for. Because it just seems like there's nobody at the football club taking these transfers seriously. It just doesn't seem to be happening. There's nobody there who has the full grip of the reins to steer us in the right direction of the correct transfer targets. We just seem to be lacking. And these transfers are passing us by. I mean, if a player decides that he wants to go to another club, then that's up to him. You know, that's his dose of rat poison, which I think it will be if Cesco goes to Manchester United, because I think they're going to struggle again this season. I think the manager will be gone by Christmas. And it'll be another disappointing season in the Premier League for Manchester United. And as I said, the theatre of nightmares is what Old Trafford is becoming at the minute, with fan protests and certainly players being unsettled, terrible owners. It just seems to be that they're getting away with absolute murder in terms of PSR. They're allowed to spend all this money on players. They're in mountains upon mountains of debt. And they've got owners who are doing cutback after cutback among the stadium staff and personnel. But, Benjamin Cesco, they've obviously dangled a carrot with a few million quid on the end. And he's went, oh yeah, I'll go for them. Fair enough. Manchester United, though, not a good choice. But, as I said before, I think we've dodged a bullet because he's unproven in the Premier League. He may turn out to be an absolute star, but I doubt it very much. So what I'm saying is, Newcastle United's owners, they need to get their fingers out and they need to go after two proven Premier League players, as I mentioned before, Wissa and Watkins. They are two top-notch Premier League players. They can score goals. They've got a great ambition to score goals, and the records speak for themselves. Come on, Newcastle, get your finger out your arses, get these players through the door, and let's do some proper transfer business instead of going after a player who you like the look of, but he's unproven in the Premier League, and he's already made up his mind that he doesn't want to come to Newcastle. He's already signalled that. As soon as Manchester United arrived on the scene, they've obviously got to him, and they've said, come and play for us, we'll give you X, Y and Z. And he's went, okay, yeah, and Newcastle are interested in you. Benjamin, are they? Oh, yeah, well, I'll talk to them, yeah. But I'm not really interested in that, you know. Manchester United, the way I want to go. Newcastle at that moment, when they found that out, they should have said, fine, no problem. But they haven't. They've kept pushing at it and pushing at it and pushing at it. And we've been here before, where it's been with Mark Gahey, we kept on at him. As soon as he decided that he wasn't keen on a move to Tyneside, then sod off. Leave him where he is. The club weren't willing to sell, and he wasn't keen either, so we moved on. Talk was still after him. I wouldn't bother. Watkins and Wissa, the two W's, get them in. This guy, Cesco, let him go to Old Trafford. Let him rot at Old Trafford. Yeah, he'll have a massive pay packet, but he's not going to do well at Manchester United because they're a mess. They're a complete mess. And Newcastle United's owners, they need to get their fingers out, mind, and get people in, because the owners at Newcastle, they're doing okay. They've stabilised the club. We've won the cup last season. Champions League football twice since they've arrived. Fantastic. But we're crippled by PSR. So they're doing what they can. And I'm hearing some fans are saying, oh, well, oh, dear me, they're failing us. Whoa. Cool your jets, guys. Cool your jets. Would you rather still have Mike Ashley in charge and Steve Bruce and be struggling in the Premier League table? I'll wait for you on that one. I really will. No, the owners are fine. They've stabilised their club, but they need to get somebody in who is going to get a grip of transfers and quickly, because otherwise we're going to miss out on some top players again. Ollie Watkins and Wissa are now the names being mentioned for Newcastle United. So if that is the case, they need to get their fingers out. They need to get these transfers done, get them over the line, pay the clubs what they want, and let's get them in black and white. Let's get this season running, because we've got less than 2 weeks now before the first ball is kicked in the Premier League. And Alexander Isak is one player who doesn't want to be at the club. We've got Wissa who wants to join the club. And Watkins might just have his head turned by the Magpies. So come on, lads. Get yourselves into gear. Newcastle United owners, transfer personnel at the club. Let's get this moving, because this transfer saga is ridiculous at Newcastle United. It needs to stop. And it needs to stop right now. We need players through the door. Get your heads together, guys. Come on. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Sorry I've rambled on a bit. Great to have you once again. Rant over. Marty the Mad Magpie. You want to leave a comment, guys, you're more than welcome. And don't forget to subscribe if you want instant access to my new videos. Cheerio for now. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye for now.